He is standing there, at the edge of the herd, right on the fringe of that deafening, chaotic crowd. He hesitates for a moment, turns his head, and then with clear determination, he starts walking, not toward the ocean, but toward the mountains. He doesn't look back. He turns toward that deadly whiteness, toward the exact opposite of the ocean, the opposite of life, toward that ice desert stretching for 5,000 kilometers where nothing can survive. When you watch this scene through Werner Herzog's camera, a strange admiration stirs inside you, doesn't it? You saw yourself in that penguin, in his silent rebellion, in his enough is enough. You found a kind of heroism, a refusal of the loud, imposed struggle of the system. The internet called him the Nihilist Penguin, an existential rebel, because sometimes you are inside that herd, in the subway, in the office, stuck in traffic, standing in the middle of that meaningless noise. You just want to turn your back and leave. Maybe the destination doesn't even matter, just somewhere that is not here. In that penguin's walk, you saw a noble reflection of your own suppressed desire to escape, but you told yourself a lie. That penguin is not a philosopher. He is not a hero. He is not a genius who stepped outside the system. He is simply sick. A biological glitch in his brain disrupted his internal compass. He can't find the ocean. He sees only that silent, smooth death, and his brain codes it as the way out. And here is the terrifying part. Your mind is doing the exact same thing right now. In psychology, we call this all or nothing thinking, and it is the most insidious, deadly mental trap of the modern human. Take your gaze off that penguin. Turn it toward your own life. Look at the binary prison you've created. For you, the world has shrunk into two extremes. The grays have vanished. Either peak success or shameful failure. Either perfect love or absolute loneliness. Either a meaning that changes the world or a vast nothingness. There is no middle. Just like that penguin, either the noisy, dirty, difficult ocean or the sterile, silent mountains. You don't see the life in between. This is a defense mechanism. Complexity hurts. Uncertainty creates tension. Tolerating something that is partially good, partially bad, is exhausting. Your brain wants to eliminate this tension to save energy, so it pushes you toward extremes. Labeling something as pointless and throwing it away costs less energy than trying to repair it. Ending a relationship completely is easier than fixing the problem. Fantasizing about leaving everything behind is more comfortable than dealing with reality. That penguin's walk toward the mountains is not courage. It is an escape. Because the ocean has storms. The ocean has competition. It has the sticky, exhausting friction of life. But the mountains are silent, calm. There is no pain in the mountains because there is no life. That deep sense of emptiness, that inability to get out of bed, this is the modern version of that biological error. Your perfectionism is, in fact, your death march. Because perfectionism is not the search for the best, it is the rejection of imperfect life. And life is imperfect by nature. When you reject the imperfect, you reject life itself. All that remains are the white mountains. The roots of this error may go far back, to homes where mistakes were forbidden, where love was tied to performance, to times when you received the message, either be the best or be nothing. If your grades weren't perfect, your effort had no value, your mind fractured there. Being average became equivalent to not existing. That's why now, when a project fails, when someone disappoints you, your mind immediately hits the eject button. "It's not worth it," says the voice. "If it's not exactly as I imagined, then it shouldn't exist at all." At that moment, you become the penguin at the edge of the herd. You turn away from the ocean, from struggle, growth, the mixture of pain and pleasure, and focus on an absolute ending, on the great escape. You mistake this for depressive realism. You see yourself as a wise observer who has solved the meaninglessness of existence. You say, "I see the truth. Others are living a lie." But what you see is not reality. It is just a blackout created by a filter in your mind. The tragedy of that penguin is that he believes he has a purpose. His steps are firm. He is sure. But being sure does not mean being right. You can be extremely determined inside a delusion. You can feel righteous while walking down the wrong path. Your desire to make radical decisions, to burn bridges, to erase people, these are not signs of strength. They are the inability to breathe within uncertainty. Do you know why the ocean is frightening? Because it is uncontrollable, just like life. And rather than being part of something you cannot control, you choose to be the master of a controllable annihilation. Writing your own ending gives you a false sense of power. Like that penguin, you think you are defying fate. In reality, you are simply surrendering to a glitch. True courage is not walking toward that clean whiteness. True courage is turning back, returning to that noisy, complex, chaotic herd. Because life is there. Meaning is there. Meaning is not hidden behind the mountains. Meaning is right inside those moments you deem insufficient, in half-finished conversations, in imperfect work, in flawed decisions, in relationships you can fix, but never perfect. The penguin's story ends badly. You know this. There is no better life behind those mountains. There is only freezing death. The all-or-nothing scenario in your mind ends no differently. The search for a flawless life condemns you to an unlived one. Your expectations are so extreme that no reality can meet them, and all that remains is a vast nothingness. Look at where you stand. Check your compass. Does your path lead toward life, people, mistakes, toward the ocean? Or toward those proud, lonely mountains where no one understands you? Do not fall for that cold, intellectual arrogance. The tragedy of the penguin was not that he was on the wrong path. It was that he was so certain he didn't even realize he was lost. Turn back. I know the water is cold. I know the crowd is loud. I know the struggle is exhausting, but the only place you can breathe is there. That white silence is not salvation. It is just a mistake.